What's up, it's Keith Kalfas in the Social Media Explosion course, and in this video we're going to be talking about audio in the form of podcasting. If you want to start your own podcast, you can promote your brand, your business, whatever it is you want to entertain people. Podcasting is the biggest thing ever right now. If you follow Gary Vaynerchuk like I do, dude, audio is everything. Now, the first fastest way to start a podcast is just on your cell phone. That's all you need. You grab your phone. I love the LG V40 because it has these really good audio processing amps and you can record. The quality is great, but the quality is awesome in all cell phones. Download an app called Spreaker. Start your podcast and distribute it to Facebook and Twitter and all that. You can go on Libsyn.com. Libsyn is amazing because it's a podcast distribution platform. You can upload your audio, your podcast, and it'll distribute it all over the place to all the different podcast platforms like iTunes and SoundCloud and all that stuff for you. But it costs you money every single month, 15, 20, 50, whatever, how many hours of that you upload, it charges you accordingly. But start out by just recording by talking into your phone, all right? And talking. But now I'm not going to go into the structure of a podcast. You're going to want to create an intro. Put some music behind it, like welcome to my podcast where we give you cool tips and stuff, or we talk about this and that, right? So people get used to it. It's like a TV jingle, right? And then the outro, this podcast has been brought to you by this. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and go to my website. Do it on your cell phone. If you want really good sound, like a professional podcast or radio show that captures the nuance of your voice, you need really good high quality microphones. This is the Shure SM7B. This is the microphone that you see in the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. This is like a $300 microphone. It's called the Shure SM7B. This is the microphone that was recorded. Michael Jackson recorded his entire Thriller album on this or whatever. It sounds really good because it's a dynamic microphone, right? Now, this right here, it's also got like a podcast arm. You could buy these from anywhere from $20 to $2,000. This is a cheap one. It was $20 with the XLR cable that goes into a mixer. Then the mixer goes straight out to my camera. Then you can get an interface here. This is the Focusrite Studio. It has phantom power, which means if your microphone requires a 48 volt, if it needs to be powered, it does that. And this interface and puts it into your laptop if you want your laptop. Now, you don't necessarily need a computer for podcasting. You could just do it and then put it into your computer and upload it. Here's different microphones and cables and crazy shit. This is the Rode Video Mic Me. This is the coolest invention ever. This little tiny miniature microphone plugs into your cell phone because see how it has the 3 rings on it? That's a TRRS plug. That means that it's for cell phones. If it only has 2, it's a TRS plug. But anyways, the Rode Video Mic Me is amazing because it gives you really good high quality audio coming from your phone directionally, right? So this right here is the Blue Yeti. Everybody knows about the Blue Yeti. It's $100. It's just an amazing microphone. Get a pair of headphones or earbuds with it. It plugs directly into your computer. Now you're ready to go. You can go on Zoom. Zoom is this awesome software that allows you to do a video podcast with somebody else, kind of like Skype, right? I love Zoom. It's free. Get a Zoom account. Start your podcast today. Go on Libsyn. Go on Podbean. Go on SoundCloud. Go on Spreaker. Go on, get your podcast registered on iTunes. I hire somebody in Southeast Asia. That's my person. I can't give them to you. She manages my entire podcast because I got sick of doing it. She edits it. She uploads it. She distributes it to Icon. It's called the Untrapped Podcast. #Untrapped. I got people all the time on it. Now, you could do just an audio version of your podcast, or you can do an audio and video version of your podcast. The cool thing about that is if you're recording your podcast on video from your camera, or you're doing a Zoom call with somebody. So what I mean is you can have somebody come over your studio, or you can go to their studio and have real cameras on you and real microphones, like professionally, like you see on YouTube, or you could just do it over software from 3,000 miles away on the computer, a little bit lower quality. But you could have the video and extract the audio from the video and upload the audio. Now you got the video version of the podcast and the audio version of the podcast, so people that can't sit there and watch the video, they can actually just listen to it. Right? Makes sense? Makes sense. I like to do both. I showed you my microphones and the other videos, so I won't pull those out now. But dude, just get a Blue Yeti, bro, and start your podcast. If you can't afford it or you don't want to spend the money, start your podcast on your cell phone. It's all about consistency. No one's going to listen to your podcast for the first 10 episodes, and you got to promote your podcast. But once it gets good, it takes on a life of its own. Once you get a podcast going, it's a great form of advertisement for marketing your business, because now you got an audience. You could say whatever you want. You can get sponsors. You can go to my website or purchase this product or do whatever. And people that like you become a marketing machine because of your podcast. I'm sure Joe Rogan makes $1 million a month. I'm just guessing. He has one of the biggest podcasts in the world because of his podcast. And now all these famous people want to come on his podcast, right? So the mixer, the only reason I got a mixer is because I'm going into that with multiple microphones and going out to my camera. Whoa! I dropped my phone. This is a cheap mixer. Good mixers are like Mackie mixers and shit. Rode makes one called the Rodecaster. I'm gonna get it for $600. You press the button and it plays like music and sound effects and shit. You can take phone calls from the Rodecaster. But this is like the Alto ZMX 862. This was like $100 at Guitar Center. Go to guitarcenter.com and you can buy it. It's not the greatest, but it's good enough. So that's all about podcasts. You can buy stuff like this to put the microphone on. You can have a boom arm. You could just get the Yeti and be done with the shit. I purchased this and dropped $1,500 on this whole podcast room that I'm building because it looks cool on video and it looks cool. You don't have to do that. You can do your podcast in your car. But yeah, that's all about podcasts. And if you want to edit podcasts for free, download an app on your phone or download Audacity. It's a free audio editing program. I use Sonar 8 Producer Edition. It was like hundreds of dollars. But you could just edit for free on something online. What else can you edit a podcast on? There's apps called offphonic.com. Awesome app. Download that. It's kind of a pain in the ass to learn how to use, but automatically you upload your podcast. It takes out the crappy hissing sounds and background noise, and it beefs up your voice. And then it distributes it all over the freaking world. So I hope you enjoyed that video. And in the next video, it's going to be a surprise, dog. Okay, later.